Hello, friends. A lot of you came to me because of the twin flame journey. So if you are a twin flame or you have suspicions that you're a twin flame and you came to my channel first and foremost because you're on the twin flame journey, you met a twin flame, this is the next logical step for you. What am I talking about? I'm talking about these books, Me Unconditionally, a spiritual guide to self-love and inner peace, and its companion workbook. Now, I produced a video about 3 months ago before I completed the books, explaining how loving yourself unconditionally is the next logical step. And I extracted a little snippet because I thought it was so perfect and so well explained that I really want to hit home with that. So go ahead and stay tuned, and we are gonna move over into that snippet. It's about 5 minutes from that previous video, and then I'll come back around and close out the video with a little pep talk for you. But as you move through these stages, at some point, you become stuck. At some point, if you are way ahead in your spiritual, emotional development than your twin flame, that's when you get stuck. That's when you have this gap where the gap does need to be filled. And so many that are on the twin flame journey reach this point, this impasse, this point at which they're like, well, I've been doing a lot of my energetic work, my spiritual work, my emotional work, my relational work. I've been working on my life, myself, my other relationships, but now there's this vacuum almost. There's just this gap. I just don't know what to do with this. I feel like I can't really move forward. I feel like my twin flame is not necessarily moving forward on the same timeline as me. And then it leaves us with this feeling of like, what now? Like, what do I do now? Now that I've moved through the dark night of the soul, now that I've moved through the stages of the twin flame journey, now that I've worked on my vibration, myself, my life, I've rectified those other major relationships in my life where maybe you needed to get a divorce, maybe you needed a separation from someone. Maybe you needed to leave a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other that you weren't married to, for example. Or maybe you needed to leave that job or leave the city. There are a lot of changes that take place as a result of a spiritual awakening, right? It always happens that way. It's never just one thing. Oftentimes, it's a whole multitude of things that your life gets flipped upside down. Now, whether your spiritual awakening came as a result of meeting a twin flame or whether it came by other means, your life is usually turned upside down. In other words, you're awakened to seeing life in a very different way than you've ever seen it before. And once you see it in that way, you can't unsee it. You can't go back to the way you were before. You can't go back to normal life. What is normal life anyways, right? You can't go back to the way you were living before because you're a different person now. So when you meet a twin flame, your life is completely transformed, even if they are not currently in your life. And you know this, right? You know you've been changed. You know you've been transformed. You know that you have never felt such unconditional love before in human form, that has not occurred before. And you don't understand it. You don't understand how you could have this opening, this heart chakra opening to someone who may not even give you the time of day today. And where does that leave you in that gap, right? That gap of okay, I've done everything I need to do. What happens now? What happens now? My twin flame's not ready, or maybe they say they're ready, but they're really not ready. Maybe they have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Maybe they're not quite there yet. Or maybe they've made themselves a ghost and you haven't seen them in a year, 5 years, or 10 years. But here you are now, feeling this loneliness, feeling that you don't really know how to move forward in a proper way, where does that leave you? When I was in that situation where I was healing a lot, I was doing a lot of healing work. I was not only working on myself, but I was working with clients. And when you teach what you are learning, it kind of doubles or triples or quadruples the lessons because you learn faster when you teach what you have learned, right? It reinforces what you have learned. And so I found myself in this situation probably 4 years into my twin flame connection. And as I was in there, about 4 years into my twin flame connection, in this gap where I knew that perhaps I wasn't 100% ready to be in a different relationship, even though I thought I was ready, I thought I might be ready. I knew that there was something missing. There was some kind of lesson I was still needing to learn. There was something I needed to do to be able to walk forward in my life with 100% full confidence that no matter what happened in my twin flame connection, I was going to be okay. That I was going to be following my life path, my highest life path, my highest timeline. And that led me to my self-love journey that began way back, right? That kind of began back when I met my twin flame. It even began before that. I just didn't know that's what it was. But it led me to the self-discovery of the self-love journey, loving myself unconditionally, and being able to then figure out what that was all about. I hope that made sense to you. If you've been on the twin flame journey or a spiritual journey for any number of time, whether it's years, months, you know how difficult it can be to understand how to move forward through certain work, like moving away from people pleasing, overcoming the ego ties, overcoming fears, overcoming codependency, how to have better relationships in your life, how to have more self-confidence, feeling your self-worth, feeling your self-respect, and how to implement that into your life. So what I want to say to you is something that I've never said about these books, is that this book is a step-by-step guide into loving yourself unconditionally to overcome a lot of those wounds, if not all of those wounds. If you apply it, it's a practice. It is something to do step by step by step by step. And this program takes 30 days to complete. You can take longer. Of course you can. But I've designed it so that you can complete it in 30 days. It's the next logical step on your twin flame journey if you have been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like you can't overcome or move forward or move on with your life or date someone else or any and all of the above. And I am living proof that it is absolutely positively possible to love yourself unconditionally. I never in a million years even thought of that as a concept. I was like, we're supposed to love others unconditionally, but not ourselves necessarily. And so this work is really the next logical step on your twin flame journey. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this little teeny video and also the snippet from the previous video, but I feel like it has such great impact on the work that I'm doing here for self-love, self-worth, self-respect, learning how to love yourself like your best friend. And do stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a video series on the 14 traits of unconditional self-love that are listed in both books. And I'm really excited to explain it a little bit further so that you can have your life improve in so many ways. That is my mission. I want you to have a better life. I want you to feel good every day as you wake up and feel like you can conquer the world, your world, right? It doesn't have to be like Napoleon Bonaparte. It's like you conquering your world and feeling so great. Whether you're on a spiritual awakening journey or a twin flame journey, it's something that I want for you. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for subscribing to the channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to pick up copies of these books. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if you're viewing this on Friday, which is June 12th of 2026, for a very short duration of time, I'm offering Love Me Unconditionally on Kindle for $2.99. Yes! So you can pick up Love Me Unconditionally and preview it. Make sure to leave a review if you love it. And you can get that for $2.99 just for a short amount of time on Kindle. And I'll put those links below. And I will see you in the next video.